Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to office hours. I'm just going to tell you guys that are here early that I am going to be distracted by the static in my house for the entire time that I'm on camera today. Oh, yes. So, thank you for joining me. Welcome to office hours. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Anna. Morning, Bob. Good morning, Amy. Good to see you guys. Um, Welcome. If you have not joined us for office hours in the past, good morning, Brianna. Good morning. Excited to listen while I try and get a workout in. Very nice. I debated for a minute last night if I was going to get up and go this morning. I just decided that today was not my day for the gym. Usually like 3 to 5 days a week, depending on my week and the schedule. I'm 6 a.m. at the gym, class or something, and kicking my day off. And one of the things, like, when you talk to people about how often you work out, and once you get into thank you. This is right. LOL, this static. It's that time of year. I sat in there with like hairspray. There's nothing I can do. It looks like I stuck my finger in a socket. I don't. um, but so I think you guys, a lot of you know, like my Instagram and my TikTok that I got into Amazon influencer with are in the fitness workout space, right? And being over there, I get a lot of content about like how often you should work out and what you should be eating, all those things. One of the most fascinating things is people will be like, don't work out consecutive days because you need to let your, muscle groups rest and those sorts of things. But what I've found is that while that's all true, and I do know switch muscle, all those things, um, I have to go in the mornings and I have to go often. A lot of weeks it's like daily, right? Because it is about physical fitness and all those things, but it's really about my mental fitness, and like it anchors my day, kicks it off right. I feel accomplished, but also just from like a pure mental health standpoint, like it's life changing when I'm in the gym 5 days a week as opposed to like once or not or whatever. So so yes, I appreciate this. Hi, good morning. Pioneer Smokehouse. I have to admit, and I'm sorry, I will memorize everybody's YouTube um names as we go since we're just moving over here, but feel free to drop your name for me so that I can call you by your name. Yes, Epic Value Data, 100% morning all. Good morning. Crushed back and shoulders today. Let's go. Okay. I did a class yesterday morning, and then I will do a class again tomorrow morning. I also, there are those things that you just know about yourself, right? I know that I am a morning gym person. I know that I'm a gym person. I love the idea of a home gym, and I have a rack and I have all this stuff, and I just sold my rower and I've had treadmills. But here's what I know about myself. I don't use my home gym. I'm just not that person. I want to be in a class. I have an appointment. People are expecting me. Somebody tells me what to do. I don't like coming up with my workouts. So that's how I do it. Good morning. Newish here. Could you please share your YouTube and IG handles for the fitness channels? Absolutely. Liz on a Journey are my Amber. Thank you, Amber. Liz on a Journey are my TikTok and my Instagram. My Instagram is kind of like where everything is repurposed, but I'm not super active over there. So TikTok is where I spend more of my time if you want to see those. But yes, so those are my personal channels. Robert, thank you, Robert. Good to meet you. Good morning, Donna. All right, for everybody who is new, welcome. We recently moved the Fluencer Fruit Wayward Creator Community office hours from inside the community to YouTube. So very excited to have you guys. And we have been doing office hours for almost 3 years now. So since I started Fluencer Fruit in May of 2023, starting in June of 2023, I started doing office hours on Thursdays. So this is a long-standing tradition. We just have made some transitions over the last couple months with Fluencer Fruit, with Facebook turning off the ability to like live stream through third-party platforms into the groups. And so here we are, we're gonna do YouTube for a little bit. Um, as a note, normally how we run office hours is I bring a couple things for us to talk about. We talk about everything from Fluencer Fruit, the Wayward Creator community, content creation in general, the platforms, anything that you can think of. And then we also do questions, comments, all those things, and usually have like a really good conversation. I love Thursdays because it's one of the times that I get to like chat with you guys the most. But if you're not already in the Wayward Creator community, definitely join us over there too, because we have conversations about all of these things in writing in addition to what we do here live on Thursdays. So, yeah, Bree says, "Oh, I am totally a workout from home with a YouTube kind of video kind of person. Gyms are scary." So this is fascinating. I have so much respect for people who like work out at home. It feels like a totally different type of discipline. And I don't know why. I struggle. Like, I'll be like, oh, if I buy this new piece of equipment, like I had a subscription to the hydro rowing, like yeah, gyms are scary. I do understand that. And yeah, just says watching from my walking pad desk. I do understand that. And I started going to the gym like in college with some friends. And one of the things that that helped with was I had people that I started initially going with, and now I've like kind of a lifelong gym rat. So like I've done CrossFit. I just joined like a big box gym here that has all the classes, all the gear, all the a spa, like all those things. It's really nice. But before that, for 2 years, I was at an Olympic weightlifting gym, and then I did Orange Theory for years. And so I I do like if you ever wanted to get started in a gym, the class specific gyms are really a good way to like kind of find your way in. So yes, my assistant looks like she worked out a lot this morning too. This is Cocoa Bean. Oh, other side. This is Cocoa Bean. And let's see, her brother is actually directly behind me, so you can't see him, but Bear is right there as well. Yep, my two assistants, they join us almost every Thursday. So watching this from my walking pad. Totally agree, Liz. Daily activity is a commitment. I need to get outdoors for mental health, but I do under the desk elliptical while I'm on calls. This is so good. I know Jess is on her walking pad right now, and you've got I have a walking pad. This goes to like, yeah, I I have actually two walking pads. I bought one from Amazon a couple years ago and used that for a little bit. But moving stuff back and forth for me just feels like the something that I can't conquer in a day. So I just don't set it up and I don't do it. But again, that's why I go to the gym early, right? Is just like go get it done. And then I don't feel guilty if I don't get out my walking pad during the workday. I work out in the morning, but not a morning person. So I also work out at home. I could be sleeping instead of driving to the gym. I also get this, Amber. I am not naturally a morning person. I am currently a pragmatist, and I know that with all of the activities, 'cause I have two in high school and one who is 2 years out of high school, and just with the sheer volume of stuff in our evenings is just never gonna happen. Yeah, can't do it. My wife and I started walking daily with views like we have around here. It's not too hard. Yeah, Bob lives in like a beautiful spot out west, Wyoming, I think. Does fishing count? Fishing counts. Listen, I'm in for like movement and activity and, keeping active in a way that like feeds your soul. I think it's important. Brianna says, I also have lupus, so I can't lift super heavy and have to do low impact. It makes home workouts a lot easier. I can see that. Yeah. Um, the low impact stuff that you can do, I mean, you can do anything from the house now too. Like it's just, yeah, it's very cool. Fishing counts, same. I totally agree. I just built my home gym. Sadly, I've not started using it. Got to get the torture started and some better lifting, LOL. You're gonna do it, Karen. I have faith. Hey all, a little late but made it. Good morning, Doug. Pickleball tonight. Okay, that's Doug's activity. I like it. I love the outdoors. I do like to hike. Yeah, I need to figure that out. I walk Walmart if deliveries are slow between DoorDash and Walmart. See? Listen, everybody does the physical activity that works for them. So, well, welcome everybody. I want to do a little bit of calendar before we like jump in. So, replays to be watched. Last week, a week ago, Kathleen and I did a 2-hour kickoff for our shared office hours here on YouTube. So recently, Wayward, we moved our office hours over to YouTube, but kept our same time. And Kathleen has always been on YouTube, but moved her office hours over to Thursdays. So now we're back to back. So last week we did a really fun, like 2-hour event with us on both channels streaming. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that, you can watch it on literally either of our YouTube channels. So watch that. Also, Claire and Nicole are doing Amazon influencer strategy chats. It's about every other Tuesday here on the Fluencer Fruit channel. And they have a replay from 2 days ago. So they did one Tuesday that you can also watch here on the channel. Their next one is going to be on the 24th. So just under 2 weeks from today, 12 days. Next week, the 19th, here on Fluencer Fruit channel, we'll do normal Wayward creator office hours. But I want to go ahead and call out that the 26th, so February 26th, 2 weeks from now, we will have no office hours. I'm out of office that day for a marketing event here in Austin. But the following week, Lane is going to join me for a talk about automations. So if you guys don't know, Lane is an old school Amazon influencer, but also has been in the content creation space for, Lane, if you're here, correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's like 20 plus years at this point. He has multiple channels where he's creating and has created content, and he has automations that would embarrass an AI chatbot, right? Like he has built. Now he's added to them with all of the AI and everything else, but even before that, he had automations that would embarrass the, most technical person. So good. So he's going to come and talk about automating your content creation and repurposing and those sorts of things on the 5th. So that's 3 weeks from now. So just a little bit of like calendar housekeeping, if you will. Yes. Doug says the puppy is working out today in the background. Yeah. They have very strenuous schedules. They get up, they eat, they go outside, they come back in, and they go directly to morning nap time. And they literally will walk around to because obviously they spend time in my office during the day. So if like breakfast and outside time is over, they just come straight to my office door, even if I'm not in here. They're like, okay, morning office time to nap. You got this. Even one day a week is a start. Absolutely. Karen, you can do this. I love the home gym setup, and you've got it. So now it's just the next step. So I was thinking about this today because I was like, oh, I'm not going to the gym today, but I book a class for myself tomorrow morning so that I'll definitely go. I like to put things on the calendar. I don't know if this will work for you, but maybe be like, okay, Monday. I never skip a Monday, and I like to start things on Monday. But, put something on Monday and be like, all right, Monday, I'm going to do X, shoulders, arms, legs, core, whatever it is, and have that be your kickoff, right? And then we'll check back in next Thursday and see how it went. I love a good accountability, right? A good check-in. All right. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today is community, because I was thinking about this because we've recently lost 2 of our really great Amazon influencer Facebook groups to Facebook. So Both Nicole Vincent and Kathleen Cobal's Facebook groups were removed by Facebook with no explanation. They've both, like, tried to follow up, ask questions, no information. So, I think this is it's always something about building on other people's platforms that's a risk and everything else, but it's always weird when you see groups that are compliant and helpful and everything else just kind of, like, lose their stuff overnight with no explanation. So, I think, there are multiple communities that are great for on-site content, conversations, and those sorts of things. But I just wanted to call out, while we've lost these two, kind of like where we can be plugging in and finding that really good white hat, terms of service compliant, solid information, conversations, all those things. And good morning, Eileen. Good to see you. Eileen, I'm actually going to ask you to post a link here in a minute. So I'm so glad you said hi. So there's a couple communities that are in the Amazon influencer, in the content creation space, that I want to call out for you, because I feel like having lost those two groups, like, there's a little bit of a void right now in, like, where we're having these conversations. Again, still great groups that did not lose their spot, but I think there's some places that where we can be. So I'm going to add links in the comments so that you guys can, like, go join these if you haven't already. But every time something changes in the program, it's so valuable to have other people who are experiencing the same thing, have people who are, approaching everything from a white hat terms of service um, perspective and are very knowledgeable. And some of the things, like, that's so important about these groups is having people who have been at this for a really long time, as well as having people who are new. And one of the things that I've found is, 2022, yes. So I joined Amazon Influencer December of 2021. I got approved for on-site early 2022. And you'll notice I didn't say January, because back in the day it took like 6 weeks to get your response for your on-site videos, right? And now it takes 24 hours. But one of the valuable things about having people on, you know, the have been in this and been doing this for a long time, and also people who are just getting into the program, is so many things change. So there's this learning from people who are getting into the program where they're like, "Hey, I no longer see the blue lock." Something I learned this last 2 weeks is that if you go to if you just join the Amazon Influencer Program, you're approved, you're in, but you go to manage videos, it doesn't take you to Creator Hub until you've loaded videos, right? So from the people who have been at this for 3, 4, 5 years, there's things then passing back like, look, we know that it says you can add music. It doesn't, but you can't. And Amazon will, not let those through, or whatever the case is, right? There are things that we know anecdotally from having done this for 3, 4, 5 years, that help the newbies, and vice versa. When we're trying to coach friends, family, other people in the space, knowing what some of the newbies are experiencing as they walk through the application, the approval, and all of that is equally valuable, right? So, I dropped first one, the Wayward Creator Community. It's free to join. We have good conversations over there. There's people of all levels. There's also creators who are not just doing Amazon influencers. So if you're looking for resources about, your YouTube niche, about your media kit and building that, just kind of like holistically, the Wayward Creator Community, we have all of those conversations there. So that's the first group that I'll go ahead and throw out as a place to find good information from people of all levels, as well as kind of across the product focused content spectrum, right? Let's see. Karen says, I'm such a list person. I can't believe I haven't ever added it to my list for a day. Thank you for the accountability. You know what? These are the things, Karen, where it's like, that's why we do these sorts of things. I mean, and obviously, like, working out in the whole beginning conversation is, is sort of related to Amazon influencer, but I just think there's so much value to being, like, out and talking about, because it's like, "Oh, yeah, put it on my list. Oh, yeah, put it on my list," right? Like, I'm also a list-driven person. I have a whiteboard, like, on my desk, and so, like, if I think of something while I'm in the middle of something else, I'll just add it to my list, and then the only bad thing about the whiteboard is I erase it once it's done, so I don't have the satisfaction of crossing it off and seeing everything that I've done, but it's working for me, so I'm not gonna break it right now. But it's +1 to being a list person. Let me know how it goes. I'm excited. Okay. The next group that I wanted to call out is Nicole Vincent. She also, good morning, Lane. She also recently lost her Facebook group to Facebook, whatever. And she's started a new group over on School, and it's a free group you can join. She talks about Amazon influencer, and it's another place where you can find people of all, 10 years in the program, as well as get good information. Nicole also has like a brand new course that she's starting for beginners that you can check out. So I'm pretty sure that that will be linked in her group. I've been in there. I haven't extensively dug through all of that. Okay, Lane, did you miss anything? Yes, I did talk about you are going to be joining me March 5th here to discuss automations and automating your content flow processes. So that's the only thing you missed. Well, in the calendar, but you were part of the calendar. So, okay. And the third one that I wanted to call out, and this is, okay, good. This is one, good morning. Good to see you. Okay. The third place that I wanted to point out is Claire's, mm, let's do it this way. There we go. Is Claire's newsletter. So I'm dropping these links in the comments kind of as we talk about them. So Claire is she's also a mod in the Fluencer Fruit, the Wayward community, all those things, and she has such good data. So she recently completed what will be her State of the Amazon Influencer report. And so if you go to the link, you can sign up for her newsletter. Always good information. I keep my email subscriptions really tight. Hers is one that I keep. So she's just got such good information. And while she will give anecdotal information around like things that she sees happening, one of the coolest things is she'll take kind of like what people are talking about and then go try and find the data to support it one way or the other. So she's getting ready to release her next round of the Amazon Influencer State of the Union, basically. So if you join her email list now, one, you'll get her newsletters, which are super informative. And then you'll also get, when she releases the new report, you'll get, I like when she's launching, I'm not sure if she's charging for it or not with this one, but like you can get the one from 2025, I think, in her Stan store as well. Dino, long time no see. Good to see you. You guys, Dino has been with Fluencer Fruit and was part of the community 2 years now, Dino? It's been a minute. Okay, so those are my three. Oh, but Eileen, would you drop a link to the Logi Facebook group? I forgot to grab it and add it to my list of like quick grabs. This is the other group that I was going to call out. So the Logi group is also a place, they do lives on Fridays, and a lot of times Eileen runs those. Lots of good information. Their mods. Oh, got it. That's a good call out. I can also try. Let me know if it doesn't. I think actually, let me just pull it really fast. I hadn't thought about that, Eileen. Good call. Okay. All right. This is the Logi Facebook group link. And Eileen's over there. Their mod crew is really knowledgeable, incredibly helpful. They have Friday lives, I think at noon. Actually, I'm gonna let you correct me on that, Eileen. I think it's noon East Coast time, in their group, and always good information. So again, when it comes to Amazon terms of service, white hat, always compliant. If people are asking questions about stuff that's not allowed, they definitely will like help correct people so that they don't make those mistakes from maybe other places where people are teaching things that are not, white hat and super compliant. So, um, let's see. I reached out to Logie recently. Maybe you can help with a small issue. Oh, if Eileen can, I know she'll know where to send you. So, everything all at once, all the time, trying to focus in and minimize lurking in all the groups and calls. Had some free time and thought I'd say hi. Yay! Listen, I get that. There's so much information to be consumed. I have a girlfriend and she's like everywhere all the time. And she's so well informed and she'll send stuff along to like our little small group. And I'm like, man, I am wildly impressed by how much content she consumes and like just to stay up on everything that's going on. Yes, okay. Logie lives are Fridays at noon and I don't realize there were two. Sweet. Okay, noon East Coast tomorrow, and then Altavise has one at 2 p.m. Eastern time as well. So, two. Excellent. All right. Doug says, I made $28 on Logie yesterday, my biggest single day haul. I'll repurpose it and buy coffee for anyone who wants to visit Tampa. Yay! Yeah, I haven't checked my Logie in a while, but it's one of the things I love about Logie is like it's just kind of like once a month I see like, oh, I made money on Logie this month. That's exciting. One of my favorite brands that Logie has, you guys, is Life Pro. Back to the fitness stuff. I've got a Roman, I forget what it's called, Roman chair. I've got a knee brace, a red light therapy knee brace. Yeah, those do right by me. Although I'm pretty sure that they're getting ready to do like new versions because I've started to see a decline in those. So I'm pretty sure that the versions that I have are getting ready to be kind of like cycled out for like what's coming. So that was me. Stayed up to date, knew absolutely everything, and fell behind on actually implementing everything for myself. Yep, this is where the community piece is so good and also could be a distraction if you let it be, right? Like yeah, I think we all have to figure out like where we spend our time and how to make peace with that. Because especially, I want to say especially in our industry, but let's face it, it's in every industry, I'm sure. But in the content creation space, there are so many shiny objects, so many blue oceans. There's always somebody that's making $1 million somewhere where I haven't started posting my content, right? And it's like, oh, I watched TikTok Shop happen. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't want to like play in another pond right now. And I missed it. And it's like, once you go and like realize, oh, I've totally missed a blue ocean and I could have made, thousands, tens of thousands, whatever. You get even more kind of like, or I get even more like, oh, watching people like, oh my gosh, go make all this money in different places. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should be on YouTube and Benable and Pinterest. And it's like, we all have to pick where to spend our time. And sometimes that's difficult. And even with the communities, right? Being able to pick and choose and prioritize your time. So yes, Eileen says, Ehud from Logie gifted you $100 last month. Claire and Nicole got the money as well. Yes. So if you guys are not currently in the Logie group, Ehud is the founder of Logie, and he there were a couple of us who talk about Logie quite often in our lives and our groups and everything else. And he gave us a bonus of $100 just for like all the people that we send over. So that was really nice. Yes, FOMO is crazy. It's like, where do I focus my time based on what I create, not everyone else? There are different places for different people. This 100%. So I'll use myself as an example. Amazon influencer videos, when I'm thinking about where I'm going to create content, make me money, right? I cannot, nope, I have not yet cracked the code for TikTok shop affiliate videos. I make some money over there, right? But when I think about like, oh, I have whatever amount of time, should I create a TikTok shop video or should I create an Amazon influencer video? The hit rate on TikTok is so much lower for me than Amazon influencer is, right? It's a little bit more of a, not a sure deal, but for lack of a better term, it's a little bit more of a sure deal. And people who have started on Amazon, switching to TikTok is not easy. Switching from TikTok to Amazon is a little bit easier, but even that is a different cadence. It doesn't have to be as like hook, line, all the things like in the first 12 seconds. Like people are already there on the product listing to buy. So it's just a different kind of content. Um, I've accidentally made drama twice in 2 days. um, Let's see. Posted a video from Steve Chu, which lots of people are wound up about, and now I am challenging the only one video logic. These groups can be fun. 100%. Well, first of all, I love Steve Chu. I got into the Amazon space actually through his course on how to sell on Amazon, basically, or his was like how to create a profitable online store, I think is the actual name of the class. And part of that is selling on Amazon, but then also creating your own e-commerce brand within his. So I also would challenge the only one video logic. I just barely saw that conversation right before going live. So I'll be interested to see where that goes. But I didn't see the Steve Chu video that you posted. So let me know where that's at because I'd love to check it. Yeah, squirrel. 100%. We're all like, wait, somebody's making money somewhere else. Maybe I should also be putting my content there. Let's see. Doing great. I just feel like audiences on the different platforms are so different. So if you're repurposing the same, it might not fit the other style. 100%, right? So that's why, and even being able to link to things. So like I repurpose my Amazon influencer content to my YouTube channel for copyright purposes, as well as for, maybe it will grow, all those things. But it is a different kind of content, right? Like my Amazon influencer stuff doesn't do well on my Instagram because my Instagram is fitness and my Amazon influencer is, a dog bed or my new can opener or whatever, right? And the audiences are consuming it differently as well as they're looking for, different things in those videos, like pushing traffic from Instagram or YouTube to Amazon or to Walmart is a wildly different type of content than in TikTok trying to get somebody to buy in the cart down here, right? Same thing doing an Amazon influencer video when you're already on the product listing and helping to convert a sale is a different kind of conversation than trying to get somebody to click on your link from Instagram and YouTube to go to Amazon. So you're right. It's different platforms. It's different audience types. It's like what type of content they're expecting in their current location. Link up that Steve video. Yep. Would love to see it. My daughter does well on TikTok and I do Amazon. We both try to dabble in the other, but they are such different platforms. 100%. Nailed it. We have to stay the course long enough to know if it will work. Altivise recommends 90 days, and I agree. I like that. I like a 90-day to try and like figure it out, make sure it hits. Absolute bottom line is review in 6-month windows, regroup as necessary. Yes, I can't say like +1 enough for this because you do see people, and there are memes about this and we talk about this a lot, right? Where it's like somebody's overnight success took them like years to get there, right? So we hear people talking about like, oh, I make X dollars, tens of thousands of dollars on pick your platform, right? And it's like, okay, but they've been posting over there for 2 to 3 years or whatever the case is, 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, right? Like it does take time in most of these to figure out if you've got traction, if you're going to hit from a sales perspective, all those things. And doing things consistently, which I will admit is not necessarily my strongest personality trait, which is why I batch things. Um, you just have to like maintain and keep up kind of like for enough time to be able to have, because you have to be able to review data. And if you don't stick around long enough, you don't have the data to like even review. Um, thank you, Eileen. Someone is making money somewhere else. How do I automate to that platform? This is the question Lane is going to answer for you guys on March 5th, which is if you see somebody making money somewhere else, how you can repurpose your content and make money there too. I spent a week now diabolically obsessed making AI automations for YouTube after Liz told me about an automation she had created. It's powerful and it's crazy powerful and addicting. Okay, so Doug is talking about so I have a TikTok called Nonlinear Liz where I talk about AI and vibe coding, and it's early. It's like a 2 or 3 month old. I don't know. Anyways, it's talking face videos about like what I'm learning in vibe coding because I love like the AI stuff. So I had posted something on there about an extension that I vibe coded, and people were like, somebody was like, please let me teach you how to use a CLI tool. And the command line interface. That's what I know it stands for. But I told Doug, I was like, well, after he said that, I was determined to figure out what I could use it for. And so I worked with Claude, my AI chat buddy, and was like, what would I use this for? So we worked through a couple things. Well, I have 233 shorts for another channel that I was like, they're named from Opus clips, right? So it's like number 1, how to do this, number 2, 10 ways, whatever. And so I built a tool with a Google API, a OpenAI API, and basically like created a prompt for OpenAI where it would automatically go through all 233 of those videos and rename them with SEO optimized titles for YouTube. So now, if you ask me any follow-up questions, I'm going to tell you that I don't know because I just literally followed the steps that the AI gave me. But it took me a little bit to like learn how to do all the things and follow the steps. But once I got it, like all the APIs connected, it took 5 minutes for this tool to like work through all 233 of the videos and rename them. So that's, yes, I'm a full believer with AI that I can probably figure anything out. And at the very least, I have a good starting place for anything that I want to learn. So my strategy is changing now based on when I batch create. If I'm doing vertical, it's going somewhere that has that punchy style. This 100%, right? And usually, not always, that's not Amazon. There are some times where vertical works well on Amazon and we don't have data to support one way or the other, but Amazon used to have, oh, you guys, I forgot what it's called. Amazon used to have the scrollable. Somebody's going to say it for me, but they used to have like a scrollable shopping option, and vertical on there and photos tended to do okay. But there's something about like Amazon ended up turning off that scrollable shopping within their app because the social platforms adding in shopping, that's a vibe, right? Like they follow people, they want to know what they recommend, like that works. So Instagram, TikTok, when they add shopping into the social platform, that has worked. But what Amazon tried to do was basically add the social piece into the shopping platform, and it just didn't translate well. And so they ended up turning that off. But that was like the place where people technically created verticals like to optimize for, but Inspire, thank you. Thank you. I knew somebody would be able to get it for me. But when they turned that off, there's not really like, even on the product listings on your phone, vertical doesn't show up like super well optimized. So definitely, this is my don't miss live every week. Thank you guys. Oh, wait, Gen Z does this. This is the heart now. How can I get a job as a video editor? I'd recommend Upwork, right? create a profile, get on there and post examples of your work. Um, yeah. And honestly, like video editors are in high demand. So if your work is good and you can, on Upwork, and I don't teach this necessarily, but I'm just going to tell you from like anecdotally what I've seen on Upwork. When you get started and you don't have a ton of reviews, I would price yourself lower than you will be in the future to get that traction and then see how it goes from there. I've spent way too many hours with Gemini creating a gem using my custom algorithm that if I upload a YouTube video and name of a product, it gives me video titles, descriptions, thumbnails, keywords, and timestamps. The thing is you're going to spend a lot of time on the front end, and then it's going to make your life so much easier, like in the future, right? Because once it's built, then you can just utilize it to do the naming, optimize your, titles and all of that stuff. Like that's a total win. That actually one of the things that I have on my list during Claire and Nicole's Tuesday influencer strategy chat, one of the things that was brought up by somebody was like, what numbers should we be sending to brands when we are basically like pitching our content and asking for samples and those sorts of things. And this loops back around to our automations here in a minute. But I wanted to talk about this, right? Because sometimes people, when we're doing only influencers, so we're only doing on-site, it takes a little bit of education from us to help the brands understand what the benefit of working with us and what the benefit of our content is for their product. So if you have not heard this before, I want to lay this out for you so that when you're talking to brands, you have the information you need to make a compelling pitch, right? Because when Amazon named the program Amazon Influencer, it creates a lot of confusion for brands about what that means, because influencer is a generic name for content creators on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, right? Like people think of an off-site content creator who is pushing traffic from their audience to the product listing. So when brands start asking questions around Amazon Influencer and what your stats are, they're looking usually for vanity metrics around your follower count, your engagement, how many videos that you posted last month and what the sales results were from them, right? Like they're very well trained from years of doing sponsored affiliate content and TikTok shop stuff to know that that's what they're looking for, right? However, with Amazon Influencer, there's like that initial piece of information where you're like, okay, what you're talking about is an off-site content creator who is doing affiliate traffic. They're pushing affiliate traffic to your product listing. As an Amazon influencer, I'm actually a content creator who creates content that lives on your product listing. And while you're paying all this brand or this like sponsorship, you're working with those affiliates to push traffic to your listing, I'm the content creator who can help you convert that traffic, right? So one of the things that we did early on with Fluencer Fruit was we did a white paper experiment with multiple brands and 6 content creators. And the 6 who worked with me, most of them are still with me, but they did these for free for me so that we could figure out what the metrics were that mattered when we were talking to brands. But basically what we did is we took 6 brands, couple brands, and we took some that had no influencers on them. We had some that already had influencers on them. And basically we dropped 6 influencer videos onto those product listings. And then the brands sent me a ton of back-end data around sales, conversion, traffic to the listing, like all these things. And I was trying to find the pattern, right? Like pull out like what was being impacted consistently when we added creator content to the product listing. And it was conversion rate, right? So when you're talking to brands and they're like, what kind of data can you give me after the fact? what I always tell them is, listen, I can give you what Amazon gives me, which is number of views. Don't take screenshots of your back end because Amazon hates that. But like I can tell you, right? Number of views, percentage of time watched, whatever our stats are, they're on the back end. But then what I follow up with is I say the more compelling information is actually in your hands. You have it on your back end of reporting, right? And you tell them like you want to look at your conversion rate. So before you have influencer content on there or before you add mine, what you would be looking for is what your conversion rate is. And then once we add that content to your product listing, you would expect to see your conversion rate go up. And we saw some pretty incredible numbers, right? So like we worked with a invitation company on a couple of their listings, and they didn't have any influencers on their listings when we started this. So we just basically dumped 6 influencer videos onto their listings, and they saw 1.9x month over month increase in sales. And then they saw 3x year over year increase in sales. And initially I was like, well, that sounds kind of too good to be true. I mean, like, I love those numbers for us. That works great. But that sounds too good to be true. Is it a seasonal product? And it's not. So we looked at those. And what we saw was like throughout the year, like their conversion rate had like slowly but steadily gotten better. But adding those creators to the listing, like exponentially jumped it. So it was like you saw slow but steady and then a big jump. And so when we looked at their year over year, it was like, oh, it's 3x. Like that's pretty significant for a brand. So that one was nice because they had no creators on there before we started this whole thing. Then we worked with a seller who's has a Shark Tank deal, right? So every time their episode goes live on a replay for Shark Tank, she sees a huge jump in traffic to her listing, right? So what we saw with her was even though she already had a bunch of content on her product listing from Amazon influencers, we took 6 and did intentional videos around like her number one return reason, right? So we're like, actually, this is how the product works. And it's, to help combat those returns. And then we talked about like specifics around how much weight the thing held, all these things. And month over month, we took her from a 3.09% conversion rate to a 4.18% conversion rate, which is like, okay, 3 to 4. But when you're talking about a conversion rate and she gets 50 to 70,000 page views a month, when you take a 1% bump in your conversion rate, that's huge, right? So saying all that to say, when you're talking to brands, that's where we help on site versus what they're accustomed to asking about for off-site stuff. Now, if you're stuck on what your personal stats are that you can provide to a brand, inside the Wayward Creator community, we have a resource, and it's like it's creating your brand kit, and it's also a custom GPT. So kind of like to Doug's, he's created a custom gem for all of these things. I created a custom GPT for content creators to help create a media kit. And the GPT will help you kind of work through like, okay, if I don't have a great Instagram following, is there something else I can add in or whatever? And it will give you all of the content to take over like to Canva and input so that you can like create that. Even if you're not creating a media kit, like what metrics you can share that are compelling to a brand. So I wanted to call that out. The lesson that it's in teaches you how to create a custom GPT, and I use creating this custom media kit GPT as the example. So you learn how to create your own GPT if you want, and then it also lets you use the GPT that we created in the lesson. So, all right, Karen says, does anyone ever change their profile picture? I think do you mean just in general or on Amazon? It's a good question. I have not changed mine on my Amazon influencer account. But when I do change, actually, you know what? Did I? I was like, I did just like basically update all my stuff. No, I kept my I don't know if that's the one I started with though. So usually when I do my like profile pictures, I try and keep them the same across platforms. So like, oh yeah, Eileen says, I changed my profile pic 2 days ago. Nice. Doug says, we updated ours once when we kind of rebranded, but it's not a regular or purposeful thing. Yeah. I usually do mine like across the board, right? So like I try to make it so that if somebody follows me on TikTok and then they're over on like Instagram and I'm suggested, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Liz. Liz, same, blue deadlifting photo that she has in her other one." Like I try and keep those the same. So when I change one, I usually change all of them, but my Amazon storefront actually has a different profile picture. So, yeah. Eileen says, tip, when I changed my profile pic, that is when I noticed that we can add Pinterest to our storefront profile now too. This is so good. Thank you, Eileen. This was next on my list. Um, okay, we have 9 minutes before Kathleen's office hours. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is just exactly what Eileen just said, which is kind of earlier in our time together, like I mentioned, it's really interesting to have people who are just getting started and people who have been doing this for a long time in the same groups because we can share these pieces of information with each other, right? So, like, Eileen found that we can now be approved for the influencer program using Pinterest, which is new. I think they added it in January. But those are the things that unless you're changing your profile picture or you're just applying, that we usually don't like go back to that page very often, right? So this is interesting new information. Um, Now I wanted to tell you guys some of the things that I've recently learned about getting started in the influencer program because I have an 18-year-old who is getting started with Amazon Influencer. We are working to help them get an additional stream of revenue going before they leave for college in the fall. And so Amazon Influencer was a good fit for them. So I'm working with them on the beginning stages of Influencer again, right? And it's been 4 years, 5 years since I've done a lot of this stuff. Now, I've had people in the groups talking about it, but it is also different to like walk back through it, helping this kiddo. So, one, Pinterest is now an available platform to get approved with, which is pretty wild. But Pinterest does have the integration with, well, I was going to say Amazon, but also Walmart, I think. Yeah, Claire was the first person to, posting about signing up with AIP with Pinterest. Yep. Um, so it's interesting that they've added that. I do wonder like how they're gauging engagement over there, but it's just because I'm not a Pinterest person. I do like Pinterest and I go and I'll pin stuff or like if I'm looking for like a new idea for a design that I'm doing for like a room, I'll go spend time on Pinterest, but it's not my natural like social media preference. Um, but in helping my 18-year-old get set up, we're using a TikTok account that's been around for a little bit. It's got solid engagement, all those good things. So getting into Amazon Influencer was immediately approved, right? Creator connections within 24 hours, immediately. The 3 videos. So I did the 3 videos because, well, for a number of reasons, but I was like, let me just like help get you up and going, right? So I did the first 3 videos. They did 3 videos too, but so I posted them and they were rejected. So I got my first 3 videos on this new account rejected, which was funny to me, but I know why. It's because we had a 2-week gap in posting on the TikTok account that's attached to it. And so we are pausing on the 3 videos for the second attempt and are going to go focus on getting engagement up for a couple weeks on the TikTok account. And then we'll go back and do that again. But I thought I'd share with you guys because it's been so long since a lot of us have done this that, yes, the rejection reason that I got on those first 3 videos was video quality, but I know that they were well within what I normally do for my personal influencer account. And so we get a lot of questions around this, right? Which is like, oh, I was rejected for video quality. And even though Amazon will never say this, I am a very firm believer that it has nothing to do with video quality and it has everything to do with your engagement on the social media platform that you got approved with. So we're going to take a couple more weeks on the TikTok side, focus on building that engagement up, and then we'll try again with the second round of the first 3 videos for the Amazon influencer account. But I thought I'd share that with you guys because I thought it was pretty funny that, having done this for 4 years and, being able to film an Amazon influencer video that gets through on the first try, that the 3 that I filmed for this new account were not approved. So, and this one will be like a family influencer page. So probably both of us will show up on that one, like on and off, especially as we build for this being like an additional stream of revenue for this kiddo. All right. Doug says, real question, which I should know the answer to. If we send people from offsite to a brand's page on Amazon, does that initiate the cookie for an affiliate sale? Oh, can we make a link with SiteStripe? Let's see. I used Genius Link and it flagged. I just checked and created a brand page link with SiteStripe, so I would say yes. I agree with Eileen. Yeah, I think the answer is anytime you drive traffic to Amazon with like your tag, that it counts. I actually don't know if there are pages on Amazon holistically that we can't drive traffic to with our affiliate tags. So that's interesting. I think the answer is any page, but I'm not 100% positive on that. So, all right, you guys, I am going to grab a link to Kathleen's upcoming live so that we can all pop over there 3 minutes from now and join her as well. But if you guys have any, I didn't get to some of the stuff for Fluencer Fruit that I had for us today. We just had such a robust conversation. But just so you guys know, I did get a request for adding revenue filters in Fluencer Fruit for the creator connections filtering capabilities. So I created the ticket for that. There is a new full walkthrough, Wayward Creator Connections, Fluencer Fruit walkthrough on the Fluencer Fruit channel. It went live just before this. So if you're looking for like the most up-to-date walkthrough of the tool, you're like, oh gosh, what have we added? Is there something else I need to know? That's live on the channel today. So you can find that. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to me in the community, or my email is liz@wayward.com, and happy to chat over there. So thank you, Doug. Thank you, Leisha. Thank you, Eileen. It's good to see you guys. Okay, I'm going to head over to Kathleen's. I know we've got 2 more minutes to jump up, run to the restroom, and then meet over there. So, all right, you guys, it was great to see everyone. I hope you guys have a lovely Thursday. Thursdays are my favorite because we get to come and hang out and do this. And I will see you next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good weekend.